Hello everyone, and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain. And today, sit a while, for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 6 as part of the Ottawa Senators, winners of 2 straight Stanley Cups. I get to say that. Alright, so today you kind of know the drill by now if you've been listening / watching me for all that time. Today is going to be an off-season episode where we're going to go through all of the off-season stuff and play the pre-season. So first things that we can look at is the open offers that I have at the bottom of the screen for my rookies that have hit 20 years old. So I made a contract offer to Jason Spezza, Ray Emery, Tim Gleason, and Brooks Like. So all players that should be playing in the NHL at one point. Now for us, if it's going to be for us, I don't know. But definitely that's a good year for new rookies to join. We still have injuries that, I mean, Arvidsson and McCabe are going to miss the start of the season, or thereabouts. They might come back on time. I don't know. It's gonna be kind of tight. As usual, I do not have enough money to get any free agents. Thankfully, there is no free agent worth mentioning. The best one is the two best ones actually have been let go of by me, which are Bill Guerin and Andreas Dackel. So I am not re-signing them. Somebody else can sign them. Those are the two best available free agents right now, and I'm the one who let them go. So, all right, so we're gonna go through the news. Wait a minute. Well, it looks like I deleted one email by accident. Alright, so I made a trade, and that was the email that was completely at the bottom. It's missing, so I apologize. So I traded Derek McKenzie to Montreal for Michael Ryder. So we have Michael Ryder for 3 years. He's going to kind of probably slide in the lineup for either Bill Guerin or Andreas Dackel. So Michael Ryder is kind of a guy that can score some goals, not really any other facet to his game other than that. That's pretty much what he is. Alright, and then we've had some firings and hirings going on in the league. So the Stars fired Michel Bergeron as their coach, and then they hired the very well-traveled by now Terry Murray. I think it's like the 4th team in my universe that he's coached. And then the Islanders let go of Kevin Constantine, and they got Ted Nolan instead, which, yeah, might be following real life a little here. Mike Milbury was let go in Washington, was replaced by Bob Hartley, probably a good choice. Doug Wilson was let go in Atlanta and was replaced by Bobby Francis. And finally, Tom Rennie was let go in Columbus and replaced by Doug Wilson, who was just let go that same day. Then there's been a minor trade. So Nashville sent Sean Brown and Mike McKenna to the Sharks for Jim Fahey and Chad Wiseman. Nobody in that trade is a great player. Jim Fahey is probably the best player in the trade. Even then, it's hard for me to say that they won the deal. So. Then Kelly Buchberger's number is being retired in Edmonton. Usually that it actually means that he has retired. So Kelly Buchberger is not in my universe anymore. And there's been an interesting trade between Edmonton and Washington. So Pascal Dupuis and Eric Godard are going to Edmonton for Andy Sutton and Eric Kearns. So Washington is piling up on big defensemen. And then another interesting trade. Brendan Morrison is not with the Rangers anymore. He was traded to Buffalo for a young, up-and-coming, decent defenseman, Dennis Wideman. So Brendan Morrison for Dennis Wideman. So those were the trades. We did have one free agent join the team automatically, which is O.C. Louis Vara. Probably not gonna play, at least not this year. If he develops into his 1.5 star potential, maybe he's gonna play in the future, but for now he's definitely not gonna be part of long-term solutions for the Ottawa Senators. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and advance. As we know, you can go a little slow at times. Okay. Oh, there's been 3 trades. All right. First is between Boston and Colorado. So Boston sent Mark Mowers and Matthias Weinendl to the Avalanche for Jean-Michel Lyles and the rights to Martin Grenier. Yeah, I would say that Boston probably got the best here. Jean-Michel Lyles is going to be a decent defenseman for a while. He's only 22. Then there's been a trade between Montreal and Philadelphia. Montreal sent Valerie Bourré and Ryan Bunny to Philadelphia for the rights to Joni Pitkanen and the rights to Pierre Hedin. It's hard to tell. Joni Pitkanen is not rated very high. Joni Pitkanen was a decent defenseman, but his career was completely derailed by injuries. I think it was an Achilles. He had like an Achilles injury or something like that. And I don't even think he played after that, but he was a pretty solid defenseman before that. So he's only a 2-star potential. Maybe it's going to go up. I don't know. So I don't know. I think it's pretty even given the potential of Joni Pitkanen. And then there's been a trade between Atlanta and Philadelphia. Ooh. Oh, wow. So Marcus Naslund and the rights to Guillaume Lefebvre go to Atlanta for Tommy Santala and the rights to Rob Zepp. I don't think that Rob Zepp is going to become a 3.5-star goaltender. So I think that Atlanta have the upper hand here. Marcus Naslund, a 29-year-old Marcus Naslund. Wow. Going to Atlanta, playing with Ilya Kovalchuk and Danny Heatley. That's wow. We're starting to see some interesting trades. Not all the time, but there's definitely some interesting trades that we weren't seeing near the start of this series. I find that very interesting. Alright, Ray Emery signed. Brooks Like signed. Brooks Like. You can have number 16. Oh, you're upset, huh? Mr. Big Boy just signed a contract at 20 years old and he's upset over a number. Alright, Jason Spezza signed. That's good. I guess I can give you number 90 since 19 is not available. And Tim Gleason would like number 8. You can have number 5. How about that? Good. All right. So now we should be able to go forward pretty fast. I'm going to need to stop for injuries, huh? All systems go for Anton Volchenkov. I'm gonna take him off the injured reserve while I'm thinking about it. Yes, you can come to the active reserve, the active roster for now. Morrow visits children at Cancer Treatment Center. Blackhawks left wing Ethan Morrow took time out from his busy schedule today to visit a local children's cancer treatment center. Morrow signed autographs and took pictures with many of the young patients. He even gave several of them caps, pucks, and mini sticks. Just seeing the smiles on those kids' faces, knowing that what they've gone through, it just warms your heart, said a beaming Moreau. When asked who his favorite player was, one little boy smiled broadly and exclaimed, "Ethan Morrow. Of course, he just gave me a bunch of stuff." Alright, so Ethan Morrow, 27 years old, playing for a Chicago star and a half player, now a better person. Not a lot going on. Not a lot going on. Brent Sutter goes to the Hall of Fame. Larry Murphy goes to the... And Zino Cicerelli. Cool. Still not a lot going on in August either. Oh, there's been a trade between the Sharks and the Islanders. The Islanders get Yaroslav Sveshkowski for Daryl Sidor. Wow. Interesting. I think Daryl Sidor is probably a superior player, but they're rated equally at a star and a half. Time will tell who won this trade. Dmitry Yuskevich in Buffalo gave time and money to cancer research. Better person. Oh, barbecue too hot to handle for Scotty Upshaw. Now playing in Detroit, Scotty Upshaw burned himself with a grill. Yannick Perrault attends leadership seminar, so Yannick Perrault becomes a better leader. All right. Now we're gonna start seeing more stuff, probably. Oh, we got a trade proposal from Nashville. Let's see what it is. They want to trade us Jonas Andersson for Karel Rakunek. I don't think so. No, go away. I will not make this trade. I shall not. It wasn't fair. Something else that happens during the off-season is that I had two assistant coaches that decided to retire, so I had to replace them. So I replaced them with Mike Tonogai. Pretty good coach. I mean, except for goalies, but I didn't put him in charge of coaching goalies. And then I hired Mike Foligno, Nick's dad. So Not the best right now, but he's young. He's going to get better. So that's who I decided to go with. Again, slim pickings a lot. Either guys were about to retire, so I didn't want to take them, or a lot of ex-players that have very low stats because they're young and inexperienced as a coach. So I took kind of a chance on a coach that's kind of middle of the road and hoping that he's going to improve. Ooh, I apologize if you're hearing that. My neighbor started his super loud truck. Alright. The Blackhawks have traded us, or are offering us Ryan Holweg for Vaclav Nedorost. I'm gonna say no. Let's hang out to Nedorost for now. Alright, we are almost at the start of preseason. It's going to be in 6 days. And we started on the West Coast. Well, actually, it almost makes sense. In San Jose, in Calgary, in LA. Yeah, almost makes sense. The calendar almost makes sense. Very rarely does for those preseason games. As I said, I think they're pretty much randomized. Oh, another trade offer, this time from the Colorado Avalanche, who want to offer me Eric Messier for Vaclav Nedorost. Oh, you want Nedorost back, huh? I'm gonna reject just because I already have quite a few defensemen. And not as many forwards. Alright. Oh, there's been a trade between the Maple Leafs and the Blackhawks. So Tim Taylor and Norm Maracle go to Chicago for Jonas Nordquist and Mike Brodeur. Ooh, Ottawa Senators might remember Mike Brodeur, the goaltender. He had came back up some years ago. He was called up because we had injuries, and I think he got a shutout in his first game. I want to say it was against the Rangers. Memory might be failing me here, but anyway, Mike Brodeur came back up. He played a handful of games and like created kind of a stir because he had like a decent start or something. Never really played again. Oh, Nicholas Avlid is not in gaming shape. I will criticize him internally. I have criticized him internally, and I don't know what's going to happen with that. Alright, it's that time where I'm going to be bringing everybody up for... Now, I know you're not... I hope you're not going to be unfit as long as Wendell Clark was. It took him like 4 years to shake it off. Hopefully you do better. Get on a diet right now. Christoph Schubert, you can come home. Nolan Pratt, you can come up. Tim Gleason, you're already there. Alexandre Giroux, come to Ottawa, buddy. Lane Ulmer, sure, come play some games. Brandon Baczynski, who started 1 year, started on a line with Spezza and Alfredson. Alright, we are ready to play the preseason. Wow, that's been fast. This has only been going on for 21 minutes. It's gonna be a short video. It goes a lot faster since I can't afford any free agents. Oh, before I forget, I scored 47 again for 189 points total. So, alright, so we are playing in San Jose for the first preseason game. Despite not being in shape, Nicholas Havlid's going to play on the second pairing with Sheldon Surrey. Alright, let's see what we have here. Let's see what happens. We're going to start Ryan Miller in net, and San Jose is going to go with Mika Kiprusov, and I forgot to look at their roster. I'm sorry. It's been a few since I've actually recorded a video for this. Alright, so we won 6-1. Pretty good game. We outshot San Jose 40-18. Daniel Alfredson was the first star of the game. He had a goal and 2 assists. Zdeno Chara was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Martin Havlat, third star with 2 goals. So Zdeno Chara opened up the scoring in the second from Ossi Luivara and Daniel Alfredson. Then Alexei Yashin scored from Chara and Spezza. And then San Jose scored before the end of the second. It was 2-1 after 2. Then we scored 4 goals in the third. Martin Havlat from Patrick Eliash and Zdeno Chara. Daniel Alfredson from Marian Osa and Derek Morris. Jason Spezza on the power play from Daniel Alfredson and Alexei Yashin. And Martin Havlat from Patrick Eliash and Joe Thornton. 6-1 was the final score. Let's take a look at San Jose's lineup. I didn't look at it, so... Brad Stewart, Kavanagh, Daryl Sedor, Sean Brown, Scott Hannon, Jeff Gilson, Jeff Friesen, Jamie Langan-Brunner, Milan Mikalik, oh. Ray Whitney, Vitaly Yakmanev, Dean Sylvester, Marcel Gotch, Viktor Kozlov, Yanni Oyanen, Matt Bradley, Adam Mayer, and Peter Schaefer. That's not too terrible of a lineup. There's a few good pieces in there. Alright, next game is tomorrow against Calgary. Paul Carrea has a great game, or a strong game. He had a hat-trick against the Avalanche. Jaromir Jagr has a memorable game. He had a hat-trick as well, but against the Flyers. Still a 5-star player. Jaromir Jagr, 31 years old. Ugh, I hate that part. Right, Nagy can have number 14, that's fine. Nidoros wants 13, he's getting 10. Lane Ulmer would prefer number 18. It's taken. He can get 87. Sidney Crosby. There you go. Schubert wants 13 as well. You're getting 51. There you go. Nolan Pratt would like number 4, but it's taken. So he's getting number 2. Simon Lajeunesse can have number 35. That's a good goaltending number. There you go. All taken care of. Alright, we are about to play the Flames in Calgary. Let's take a look at their lineup here. Do they have any injuries like us? No, they don't. They are healthy. So they still have... What's his first name? Levente Super in net with Martin Prusek, Drake Berezowski, Kevin Foster, Hal Gill, Pusmik, Tony Ludman, Cal McLaren, Karpovtsev. Al McInnes is 1,000,000 years old. No, just 40. And Brian Muir. Alright, yeah. Al McInnes is still a 3-star player. Then Jeff Cowan, Jorgen Jansson, Corey Stillman, Steve Bégin, Blair Betts, Jeff Toms, Randy Robitaille, Daniel Kachuk, Chuck Cabasu, Theo Fleury, Sean Thornton, and Travis Moen. Not Sean Thornton, Scott Thornton, sorry. It's not a great team. It's not too bad either. I don't really know how I feel about this team. What I do know is that we just beat them 3-2. We had Tim Thomas in net and they had Levente Super. So we outshot them 30-28. Christoph Schubert was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Jorgen Jansson for Calgary was the second star with an assist. And Brooks Laich, third star with an assist. Right, so Calgary took a 1-0 lead into the second period. Then we scored twice. Karel Rakunek from Lane Ulmer and Christoph Schubert. And then Ladislav Nagy from Christoph Schubert and Brooks Laich. 2-1 after 2. Then Joe Thornton scored on the power play, made it 3-1. And then Al McInnes scored on the power play, but it was too late. 3-2 the final score. Nash delights fans with training camp accessibility. 28-year-old star Tyson Nash has utilized his free time at the rink during training camp to meet fans and sign autographs. I make it a priority to sign as many autographs as I can during training camp. The fans are the reason we're compensated handsomely to play this game. I take pride in doing my part in making an entertaining atmosphere at these exhibition games. Once our club breaks camp, it will be more challenging to find the free time to interact with the fans, so I'm taking advantage of this opportunity. So Tyson Nash probably becoming a better person for spending some time with his fans. Alright, we are about to play in LA against the Kings. Let's see. Well, they have a decent team. So Roman Cechmanek and Andrew Raycroft in net. Then Keith Ballard, Francisek Cabardi, Alexei Zitnik, Kultanen, Blake Timonen, Wisnowski on D. That's decent. Bednar, Frolov, Eastwood, Tambellini, Robitaille, Craig Conroy, Robert Lang, Sean Pronger, Essa Perns, Camilleri, Belanger, Walls, Rominski, and Parsinen up front. That's a decent lineup. Not overpowering, but decent. Now, let's see if we can beat it. We're going to have Ryan Miller in net. They're going to have Andrew Raycroft. And we won 5-3, so the 2 times in a row Stanley Cup winner Ottawa Senators are starting their preseason calendar with a bang. We outshot LA 36-19. Patrick Elias was the first star of this game. He had a hat-trick with 3 goals. Luc Robitaille was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Joe Thornton was the third star with 3 assists. So the Kings scored first in the first. Luc Robitaille scored. And it was 1-0 after 1. Then Rob Blake made it 2-0 Kings, but Patrick Elias scored twice in the second. So the first one from Alfredson and Thornton, then the second one from Thornton and Osa. And it was tied at 2 after 2. In the third, the Kings actually took a 3-2 lead, but we scored 3 straight. Patrick Elias scored his third, completed the hat-trick from Sami Salo and Nicholas Havlid. Then Marianosa scored from Chris Kelly and Pavel Datsyuk, and finally Sheldon Surrey from Shara and Thornton. 5-3 is the final score. The Kings never came back on their feet after that. So Elias had a memorable game. We know it. We were there. hat trick. We celebrated. We threw our toupee on the ice, or hat, or whatever it is you're wearing or not. Arvidsson might be back soon. Alright, and now we are about to play the Flyers. So as we know, the Flyers were pretty good last year. They rode excellent goaltending by Jimmy McLennan again. So that was the second time in 3 years they had done that. Now let's see there. They still have Jimmy McLennan in net with Steve Shields. So they're both Alpha Star goaltenders, but hey, Jimmy McLennan's been playing incredible, and he's paid $1.56 million because of that. So who knows? Alright, so on D, the Flyers will have Yaroslav Modry, Pavel Trenka, Willie Mitchell, Kurt Dupont, Weinrich, and then Justin Williams, Simon Gagné, Matt Cook, Martin Saint-Louis, Rod Brennan-Moore, Eric Lindros, Darcy Tucker, Smith, Santala, Zubros, Bure, Recchi, Renberg, Gerard, and Tony Dahlman. That's a pretty decent team. Goaltending is not that strong, although Jimmy McLennan's definitely playing above his star rating. But the Flyers are going to go with Steve Shields for that one. We're going to go to Tim Thomas. And it's a 2-2 tie. Ooh, Philadelphia actually outshot us 44-32. That doesn't happen very often. Patrick Elias was the first star of this game. He had both goals for our team. Tommy Santala was the second star with a goal. And Yashin, third star, 2 assists. We finally played at home. We had only 12,245 people in attendance to celebrate our 2 Stanley Cup wins. So Patrick Elias scored the first goal of the game in the first period. Made it 1-0 after 1. Then Philadelphia tied it, but Patrick Elias scored again on the power play from Yashin and Sheldon Surrey. It was 2-1. And then in the third, Tommy Santala scored, made it 2-2, and that was the final score. Nobody scored after that. Alright, we are about to play the Sharks again. So we didn't really look at their lineup, so we're going to look at it now. So Edberg and Kiprusov in net, that's pretty good. They have a decent team. Not the best, but it's decent. Alright, they're going to go with Mika Kiprusov in net. We're going to Ryan Miller, and we won 4-2. Daniel Alfredson was the first star of the game with 2 goals and an assist. Alexander Kavanagh was the second star with an assist. And Yashin, third star, 2 goals and an assist. We outshot the Sharks 33-26. We had a whopping 11,576 people in attendance. Alright, nobody scored in the first. Then we traded a pair of goals in the second period. So we scored first. It was Daniel Alfredson on the power play from Datsuk and Marinosa. Then San Jose scored. Then Yashin scored from Alfredson and Avlid. And then San Jose scored again. It was 2-2 after 2. Then in the third, Yashin scored from Chris Kelly. And then Daniel Alfredson with 27 seconds left in the game from Alexei Yashin and Chris Kelly made it 4-2, and that was the final score. And finally, wait, we have 2 more, right? Yeah, 2 more games. My bad, I thought it was done. Oh, there's been a trade between Montreal and the Red Wings. Ooh. Wow. That's an interesting trade. So Montreal traded Petrus Brisebois and Vincent D'Anfous to Detroit for Sean Avery and Peter Sikora. There were 2 Peter Sikora. There was one that was pretty good and another one that wasn't so good. So it's the one that wasn't so good. Montreal got fleeced. Wow. Sure, Brisebois and Danfous are aging and they're not like... Wow. Montreal got fleeced. I love it. I love it so much. Alright, so Chicago... we're playing in Chicago the next game, so let's take a look at their lineup. Alright, so Ed Belfour and Scott Clemenson in net. That should be okay. Duncan Keith, DJ Smith. Kukonen, Chris Chelios, still a 5-star defenseman at 41 years old. Brent Seabrook. Nimlin, Deuce, Miller, Arneson, Morrow, Sarro, Dowd, Hendrickson, Ronick, Taylor, Nordstrom, Donald Audit, Fitzgerald, Cleary, Tansel, and Dave Scatcherd. This is not a young team. It is not a very good team either. Wouldn't surprise me that they really struggled this year again. We're going to go to Tim Thomas. They're going to go to Scott Clemenson. And we lost 5-3. We outshot them 37-19. But, is it Kevin or Kip? Kip Miller was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Sheldon Surrey was the second star with 2 assists. And Duncan Keith was a 3rd star with 2 assists as well. So we open up the scoring on that one. On the power play, Joe Thornton scored from Michael Ryder and Sheldon Surrey. But Chicago tied the game up shortly after. It was tied at 1 after 1. Then Chicago scored again. It was 2-1 Chicago. And then we scored 2 goals, 2 very quick goals actually. 18 seconds apart, Marian Hossa scored from Pavel Datsyuk and Sheldon Surrey, and then Patrick Eliash from Marian Hossa and Daniel Alfredson, 3-2 sends after 2. And then we crumbled in the 3rd. Chicago scored 3 goals, and that was the end of it. And finally, the last preseason game is going to be against the Buffalo Sabres at home. Let's take a look at their lineup. So they have Maxim Afanajanov and Ben Clymer that are hurt. They're not going to play those games. And Brendan Morrison is suspended. Martin Biron and Dominic Hasek in net. That should be fine. Philippe Boucher, Boynton, Janik, Sundin, Campbell, Carney, Yushkevich, Andy. That should also be fine. Ulf Dallin, Patrick Marleau, Adams, Rasmussen, Bogunicki, Bobby Ellick, Connor Walchuk, Brendan Morrison, Derek Roy, Murray, Gostad, Payet, Pominville, and Antonin. Not the strongest lineup. Not too sure how I feel about this team. Biro in net for Buffalo. Ryan Miller in net for us. And we won 6-1. So we outshot them 31-15. Patrick Eliash was the 1st star of the game. He had 2 goals and an assist. Mike Selinger was the 2nd star with a goal and an assist. And Chris Neal was the 3rd star with a goal and an assist as well. Buffalo scored first in the first period and took a 1-0 lead. But then, in the second period, Chris Neal scored from Sheldon Surrey and Nolan Pratt. And then Chris Kelly from Sammy Salo and Jason Spezza. It was 2-1 after 2. And we scored 4 goals in the 3rd period. Mike Selinger scored on the power play from Marian Hossa and Patrick Eliash. Then Sammy Salo from Jason Spezza. And then finally Patrick Eliash from Mike Selinger. And Patrick Eliash again from Chris Neal and Derek Morris. And 6-1 was the final score. Alright, so you know the drill. I'm going to stop right here. Off screen, I'm going to choose who I'm deciding to keep for the season and whatnot. So that's going to be done in between episodes. We did pretty good in the preseason. You know I don't put a lot of stock into that, so I'm not like going crazy about it, but we did do pretty good. We are off another Stanley Cup victory, and we are opening the season at home against the Montreal Canadiens. Oh wow, we have the Western California trip really early this season. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and stop here. There's no stats to look at or anything like that, so I'm going to go ahead and save my game. And of course, I want to thank you for being here, and if you've liked the video, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, share, all of that good stuff. And until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.